Hi, I'm just, I will be like, one more moment. I was supposed to be setting up for this stream for the last hour, but instead I got sucked into Hawthorne and Memoria's goofball shenaniganery, and so the slides that I was going to prepare, I didn't prepare. So I'm speedrunning, dragging a bunch of PNGs. So one moment. Blame Hawthorne. Blame Hawthorne and Memoria. Blame Memoria, actually. Blame Memoria. Always blame Memoria. It's never my fault. It's never my fault. Okay. Welcome on in, everybody. We're gonna be in the bar today, because that's where most of my rant casts typically end up. Behind the bar. Good morning, everybody. Welcome on in. I'm just gonna do a last second PNG drag. Yes, but today it's gonna be a brief but intense collection of my not so uncommon thoughts on modern anime, manga, the state of character design these days, and the puritanical online culture. Am I the only one here watching this in an evening? Evening, governor? Yeah. Where in your world is it evening? Is it not mid-afternoon in Europe? Is that Memoria? Memoria and her gaggle of goons? Hello, Raiders! Welcome on in. Wow, guys, I haven't seen any of you ever. Where did you all come from? If you say Sun Jin-woo's peak, I'm gonna lose some respect for you. Who the fuck is Sun Jin-woo? Hold on. Well, now I gotta look that up. The solo leveling guy? That's like saying Kirito is peak. This is uninspired. This is a nothing burger. There's nothing here. Where is the flavor? Where's the flavor? Hold on. So for those who have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm gonna add this as well to the slides. For most boring MC design. He has no sauce. Like, he looks like he's aura farming, but he's got no aura. Aura farming without the aura. Alright. Let's move back over here. So, this is a very weak example of a character. This is the one that you recommended just now. This is... Yeah, no, this is the opposite of peak. This feels like a 12-year-old boy's power fantasy of what he feels like it would be to be cool, you know? Effortlessly cool. He's got like the long bathrobe as well. That's not even like a trench coat. Couldn't even shell out enough cool points for a trench coat. Like, come on now. Got big glowy sword, glowy eyes. Oh, he's got the, is that the gay earring? What's it called when you've got the earring on one ear? That's the gay earring, right? Or is that the other ear? Or does it matter? Does it matter what ear the single earring is in? What ear is the gay ear? The solo leveling guy. You found a cool stick in the woods. Okay, anyway, he is not an example of anything sexy, so we're not gonna look at that. Miss, that's a shadow. Okay, but this is important. What ear is the gay ear? Is it the left ear or the right ear? I need to know so that I can make fun of more people effectively, because a lot of male VTubers have been getting single ear piercings these days, and I need to know who I'm safe to make fun of.
Not my 12-year-old fantasy. I want to be a Dragon Ball character.
Well, you guys seem pretty split on whether it's the left ear or the right ear. Alright. Well, we can circle back on gay ears later. So, these slides are not made properly because, again, some people distracted me. So you're just gonna get, like, straight up character PNGs. Okay. I feel attacked. Good. Die. Die right now, Vinyl. Anyway. So, recently, on Twitter.com, there have been things pissing me off in the anime space, as usual. But since, you know, it's Twitter, you know, it's always pissing me off. But specifically the last week or so, the conversation around sexual designs again in anime has resurfaced once again. And how much is too much? What is Gunner Slop? What is bait? What is bad? What is good? While it's all subjective to a degree, I think that we can pull some objective truths from just basic character design philosophies, and as well how the space itself operates. So, let me level with you. If you don't like sexualized stuff, there has always been, in the anime space, things that cater to you specifically. You don't have to go out of your way to find sexual stuff, but you can easily find non-sexualized things. So, attacking stuff that was never meant for you in the first place is a totally ingenuine and frankly stupid position to take. It's ridiculous. It's absurd.
Get her off the screen, put my waifu Satsuki.
What's wrong with my tracking? Hold on. Hi! Go away. There's something very wrong with my tracking. Okay, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. We power through. Bald. Kill yourselves right now. Okay. What do you think, Mambo? What do you think? Mambo? Do we get rid of these bozos? Yeah, I agree. Anyway. So, right now the conversation again circles back to the position being taken by modern new anime fans and young puritanicals is that you guys are getting too comfortable with sexual designs and it's destroying the medium. Bitch. It has always been this way. The old argument of, do you get angry at movies because, as a whole, because porn movies exist? Look elsewhere. Exactly. And I argue that there's actually a lot of artistic merit and value to sexualized artwork and designs, but as well to the non-sexualized artwork and designs. one cannot exist without the other. If everything is anti-gooner bait and there is no gooner bait, then that doesn't get rid of gooner bait. That just moves the goalpost as to what gets considered bad, if that makes sense. It moves the goalpost for what gets considered gooner bait, and things become more and more and more and more censored. No. Open tits existing in the same world as covered tits is actually a very valuable and wonderful thing. As well, it gives environmental storytelling. It tells you more about that character. And I think one thing that a lot of these people fail to realize is that fan service doesn't necessarily mean nude. Fan service can mean so many different things. You can give fan service while being entirely clothed. Oh, my boss just messaged me. I need to give you guys some context. So, I was just on Memoria's stream, and we did this. And I sent it to my boss. My boss is pissing himself right now. I don't know. I think we look great. But like, and it's not just like, here. Examples would be like JoJo characters. They are peak masculine, like kind of fan servicey, obnoxious, right? Or the twins from the Panty and Stocking with Garter Belts like sequel. They actually are pretty clothed, but they're very provocative in both how they behave and how they move. You don't see anybody bitching about those. You only ever see them bitching about the women because we have to protect the women, right? It's, again, it's an ingenuine argument. And again, you can have sexualization in fully clothed, over the top, naked scenarios. Hisoka is an example of like evil sexualization, evil fan service, evil, bad, gross, yuck. I don't like him. But it's important that he genuinely does get to exist. Because without him, then you don't get, peak gooner. Bitching about their insecurities. Exactly. Now, Marion is one of the Marion. Bleh. She's a very common modern victim of the anti-gooner mentality. Because you see a lot of people getting into anime for the first time where My Dress Up Darling is one of their first 3 anime. And they really love and connect with this character because she's goofy, she's silly, she's #relatable. But then they see that she self-sexualizes and their puritanical alarms ring and they get very upset. They get so upset. I can't count the amount of times I've gone on any social media, really, and some tweenage dork shithead is genuinely crying, whining, upset. She deserves to be in a better anime. She doesn't deserve all of this. The fact that she exists in the way that she does is what makes her appealing, interesting, and important. She couldn't exist in another anime. She couldn't exist removed from her sexualization. And that is what a lot of people fail to see. Hello, Katya. Are you #relatable yet? Who knows? Who knows? It's not about me having permanent fat material all the time. Again, her self-sexualization is actually story plot relevant. And you know what? Hell, it doesn't even have to be plot relevant 90% of the time. You can sometimes just have gratuitous fan service for the sake of it. Just look at Hawthorne. Puritanism is funnier because the manga is written by women. Honest to God, so many of like the horniest things out there are written by women. It is insane. Full Metal Alchemist, for example, like it's a shonen. It's an action adventure, but it's not, you know, free from fan service, and nor should it be. Like, while some of it I find incredibly uncomfortable, like, it also gives you scenarios and windows and peeks into these characters' lives in how they respond to such bizarre scenarios. You got like a whole scene of Winry going topless and Edward freaking the fuck out. You've got Alex Louise Armstrong constantly flexing shirtless. You've got the tiny mini skirts gag. Yes? You've got Riza Hawkeye, while fully clothed, being the sexiest character on screen purely because of her aura. Like, this is not a new phenomena, so pretending that it is genuinely brain dead. There's this awful take that women are permitted to make fan service, but men are not. It extends to that. It's women are allowed to make fan service and women are allowed to consume fan service, but men are not allowed to make nor consume because that makes them predatory. And I think that's a very sad, disgusting way to view the world. Like, Von Lycan is one of the most gooner bait furry designs to exist in modern memory. And he's not like naked or anything, but he's from Zenless Zone Zero, where every single character model has jiggle physics in every single part of their body. You do not see the Puritans going after this character. You only see them going after, let's say, Bernice.
Katya should be placed in a tiny mini skirt.
Oh, it's funny that you say that, actually. You can look forward to my birthday. But yet, you see, again, it's the same people that are going, well, this is too much. This is evil. This should be burnt on at the stake. Making thirst trap edits of this and going, well, it's different because I like it. A lot of rules for thee and not for me type bullshit, you know? Yeah. Now, those were more to illustrate my point, but this is more of like a proper rant session, you know? Women authors and their impact on current fiction would be an interesting topic. My YouTube feed is starting to show me those. Oh, God. Somebody made like an anti-woman post that hit my feed that I just can't help but agree with. Like, okay, there's always been female authors, and they've always done interesting things. They've always pushed boundaries. They've always, like, they were responsible for a large part of, like, sci-fi and horror and all that. But before women authors were seen as credible and highly popularized, there was a lot less written smut on the market. A lot less smut was popular. It was a lot more action, a lot more adventure. Like, written smut always existed, like those paperback cheap novels, but after being a female author became like a widely accepted thing, that's all you fucking see these days. All of like the top 10 tween-age book whatevers, they're all basically porn. And it's entirely because of the quote-unquote female sexual revolution. And it's reflective, again, on a society that rewards open sexuality in one direction and punishes it in the other. We don't hate women, we hate hypocrites. Exactly. And it's just unfortunate that these days, again, the reward for hypocrisy is typically awarded to women. Male hypocrites almost always get punished. Mary Shelley is the goat. Oh yeah, exactly. And you know what? I'm gonna say it. While I personally think that Harry Potter is like really boring, and I just don't consume it because I hate every millennial out there, because millennials that like Harry Potter are irritating, Harry Potter had a supreme cultural impact, and it wasn't Gooner anything. It wasn't sex-based. It had its own kind of like written fan servicey thing, but it wasn't hypocritical in that sense. And so I think it's a highly valuable piece of literature. The only comparable piece of literature, at least I think with social impact, potentially, could be Artemis Fowl, but that was written by a man, so of course it doesn't get the same kind of acclaim. What's your stance on the I fixed it trend? Oh my god, are you talking about the art trend where artists take other people's work and they draw over top of it? God. Agatha Christie go to 2. I love Agatha Christie! But yeah, no, the I fixed it trend is some of the most heinous shit. It's always, they take they either take an established character that's somebody drew a fan art of, or they take somebody's original character and they make them obese, they darken their skin tone significantly, and they give them scars and whatnot. Like, it's fine to have headcanons for a character, but mutilating somebody else's artistic expression to push that forward, I find, is a little sick, disturbed, and upsetting. It's basically vandalism. If you want to make edits, then just do it to the original. And you know what? Sometimes when you do it to the original too, it's still not, entirely coming from a place of genuine desire for representation. It's typically more of a, ha, got you. Are you gonna cope, seethe, and mauled now? I've destroyed the character that you like. I think the first example of I fix it culture can actually be traced back to Batman. Like, I mean, it's always existed, but like the earliest one I can think of is Catwoman. Because Catwoman was always like a white woman. And she, in a comic or a film, was played by a black woman once. And since then, every time they've attempted to make her a white woman, everybody gets very angry and upset. Like, no, she was black once, so she has to be black forever. And so they take white Catwoman fan art and they make her black. Like, they don't, like, draw black Catwoman fan art. They vandalize other people's white Catwoman black fan art to make her black without the artist's permission. That is like the earliest example of this this phenomena that I can remember online. Again, it's always existed, but they remove any and all features that make a character attractive or sexual. Oh, 100%. It was twice. Yeah, it was twice. Again, there's nothing wrong with wanting a black Catwoman. Just draw your own fan art of the black Catwoman. If you're complaining that Halle Berry played Catwoman, I hate to say this, but you're a buffoon. No, Halle Berry is very sexy. It's not about the race. It's about the intention of the fan base and destroying other people's hard work. Again, I don't have issues with you drawing your own Halle Berry-inspired Catwoman fan art. My issue stems from taking somebody else's Catwoman fan art and doodling on top of it, and then claiming that you fixed it, as if there was something to fix because it was damaged or broken. Hello, Katya. How's smoking? I love smoking. Tanned Katya fan art when? Only when we get a Gyaru fit. And I don't think that'll happen for a very long time yet. They don't want to create, they want to desecrate. Yeah, no, it's always about getting the big gotcha moment. It's always about, this character is sexy and that makes me uncomfortable, so I'm going to take this character, I'm going to remove everything that makes them sexual, and if you claim that that's what I've done, I'm gonna get angry. Really, I think Ava and Fangsie have let you have an excuse to go gyaru. It's less that I need an excuse and more that I just need time to design a gyaru outfit, and it's not a priority for me right now. I'm very busy putting together a different thing. I thought there was already bunny suit fan art of Katya. Ninja Catwoman being the start of it, but did any of this stem from Tumblr? Oh, a lot of it stemmed from Tumblr. Again, like, I say earliest in my experience. I don't know when the first version of this phenomena popped up, but as far as back as I can remember, that's where it originated. I'm not sure how related it is, but I heard that evil can't create new things, can only corrupt existing beauty, and I do think that people doing these things are acting in bad faith. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, just as well, I don't like it when, let's say somebody made a big, let's say somebody took a canon dark-skinned character, like Kaya from Genshin Impact, and they whitewashed, like, the fan art of him. Like, they took somebody else's fan art, he was dark, and they edited him to be light. I would also have a supreme problem with that. It wasn't their right to desecrate somebody's artwork. If they wanted to draw a light-skinned Kaya Genshin Impact, they should have just done it themselves, and they can deal with the fallout from that. But it's especially disrespectful, I find, to say that you fixed something. What if they made White Fangsie? White Fangsie isn't real. White Fangsie. Flashbang. Oh lord, the Steven Universe raid. Steven Universe, you know... You know what fandom had a problem with this shit? Hamilton. For some strange reason. Like, Hamilton did. Does this go to the idea of creating fanfiction and then those fan force their fiction to be canon? I don't think that you can force a fanfiction to be canon, but there is a widely accepted headcanons in a lot of fandom spaces. What about redrawing an artwork entirely, but the only difference is the art style? Oh, that's fine. I think that's genuinely fine. People have been doing that since time started. Have you not heard of Ruby, Sable? Oh, my tracking is fucked. This is actually getting distracting. Hold up. Calibrate. There we go, that's better. Yeah, okay, that was messing with me real bad. Gwenpool became real. Well, I think that's a bit of a different scenario. No, I personally never consumed Ruby. The animation style reminded me too much of MMD at the time, and I remember that bothered me because I thought it looked cheap and lazy. I know now that it wasn't, and I know now that there was actually a lot of passion and drive and whatever put into it, but it just never appealed to me to watch. Anyway, but swinging back to sexualization in the anime sphere, VTubing also is very much so tied to it. Like, let's say, I would say that my design, like my outfit, the way I look, way I dress, is, maybe it's not like full skin shown, but I did inherently try to be enticing. with like my color blocking, with like the fact that everything is kind of skin tight. A lot of leaving things to the imagination. And does this mean that, like, I'm not sexy because I'm not showing skin? I'd like to think that I'm a little bit sexy. I'm not, like, super sexy. But I have the ability to be sexy if I want to be. And it is within my right, if I wanted to express such, that I could have an outfit set up where my shirt pops open and you do see cleavage. Or I have short pants where you can see the thighs. Yes? I think that it's very important that the ability for that to exist is allowed. Wanting hardcore censorship in the anime space, wanting lack of sexuality, wanting everything to be pure for the sake of the children, even though the children shouldn't be in this space in the first place, not just stifles freedom of creative expression, but it also damages the ability for people to engage with artwork authentically. There has been artistic nudity for over a millennia, and there will be artistic nudity long after we're gone. At least I would hope so. Not trying to name names, but there are some VTuber models that flat out don't look attractive at all. I mean, yeah. And it's important that they exist. Unironically, I think it's actually a very good thing that some people have picked some designs that are not considered super sexy or attractive. That is their right. However, if they try to push that as like an agenda, they try to go, well, because I'm not sexy, I'm not attractive, nobody else also should be. They are less than for it. I find that disturbing. Like, hey, look, I'll be the first to say that I hate whores, okay? Don't get it twisted. But I do think it's very important that they get to exist. I think it's imperative, actually, that they exist. Because, again, you can't have a good day without a bad day. Because if you've never experienced a bad day, you don't know how it feels to have a good day. Good days don't feel good if you don't have a bad day to balance it out. Venus of Willendorf, which is over 20,000 years old, exactly. Now, even if you find it distasteful, you must remember your hobby, whatever it may be, is next. Exactly! Without sadness, there'd be no happiness. Same goes for pretty much anything in life, which is sets the standard for everything. In other words, you can't infantilize people. It's not so much that you can't infantilize people, it's you shouldn't. Because anyone can infantilize something in someone. But outside of specific scenarios, it really shouldn't be the case. Cartoon culture from the 2000s absolutely destroyed the minds of older Gen Z and younger millennials. And from there, I think it only got worse. I think the Steven Universe bubble was probably the worst thing to ever happen to online culture. You guys remember when fan fictions used to be rated by the citrus system? I remember that. The lemons, the limes, the oranges. Hi, boss. Hi, boss. Hey, Thorns. Hey, Smith. Next to the Tumblr exodus. It's so funny because when Tumblr had its quote-unquote pornography ban, they lifted it basically immediately after. Like, they've still got censorship on Tumblr now, but all of the people that were, like, really upset by that were also the people that were hyper-puritanical. It was the strangest thing. Because they were like, oh my gosh, no, it's censorship. I hate it here. I'm gonna move to Twitter. But they will, without fail, always be the first ones to go, actually, you cannot sexualize that character. That's problematic. So all of the worst of Tumblr left. They all left at the same time. And so the people that are still on Tumblr to this day are, by and large, the chillest fuckers on the internet. They do not care. They're very funny. Steven Universe, Voltron, Legendary Defenders were Planes 1 and 2. Those were the internet twin towers. Tumblr hasn't shut down? No, actually, for a while, Tumblr had a streaming service. Did you know that? Mr. Underhill was like one of the few VTubers that ever consistently uploaded VTuber content to Tumblr. Man, I miss Mr. Underhill. Very silly owl guy. Oh, what now? Yeah, no, like you could do vertical live streaming on Tumblr for a long while. Don't forget Tumblr kids discovering Danganronpa. Man, I miss Danganronpa. I'm so glad for Danganronpa 2x2, by the way. Yeah. So basically the main theme of this stream has kind of dissolved at this point, but it was an important kind of introduction for the topics of today. And I'm glad that we're kind of just vibing now. My friend still uses Tumblr and I keep mocking, but do understand some artists that never moved on. Anyone remember when they claimed that Rebecca from Cyberpunk Edge Runners is a lolly? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Okay, here's the thing. I personally don't think that Rebecca from Edge Runners is a lolly. However, I don't think the game devs understand that, because they themselves, like, and the anime showrunners have called her a lolly. So I think there's just a massive online misunderstanding as to what a lolly is these days. Mr. Underhill's that one Roman soldier who didn't leave his post after the volcano exploded. That's crazy. But Rebecca is a lolly? Well, okay. This is an important discussion to have. What makes a lolly? Okay, hold on. Rebecca Edge Runners. Because I think some people are like really gung-ho about, okay, the fan art of her, absolutely, very lolly. But if we pull up some official screenshots, official visuals. Copy. Paste. Like, I think something very different when I think lolly. But again, I don't think that people are wrong for thinking that she's a lolly. And this isn't a judgment on, is lolly evil? Is lolly good? Is lolly kino, sex, whatever? No, this is like, we're scientifically breaking down, is Rebecca from Cyberpunk Edge Runners a lolly? Like, I do not see it, personally, because when I think lolly, I think specific body proportions. I think a larger head. Like, this is definitely, like, a youthful girl. This is definitely, like, a teenage girl body. But I think a lot different. If I was... Okay. If Rebecca Edge Runners was a lolly... In my opinion, this, like, let's edit her just a little bit. You need to fit very specific proportional criteria, in my mind, to be considered a lolly. And that's it. And let's make the head the same size as her from before. Now, okay, this is a little jank, because, like, I didn't shift the head into the right spot. So if
Rebecca from Edgerunners should have been David's girl.
That's crazy. You know what? You're right, and you should say it. She should have been David's girl. She cared so much more. Isn't that a chibi? No. No, a chibi has vastly different proportions. So I would say that this is more a young woman, teenager body, and this is Lolly. And most of the fan art out there, to be fair, does draw her and depict her as a lolly, but the actual show itself, it just doesn't hit that kind of body type, in my personal scientific opinion. Not the chibi versus lolly conversation, please. Okay, Necro. Genuinely, I don't think Rebecca from Edgerunners is a lolly, but I think that if she had these secondary proportions, she would be a lolly. It just takes like a tiny push to put her in that territory. This isn't a judgment call on this conversation. This is more of like a where I stand on what do I consider lolly? She's 5'4" canonically. Exactly! Exactly! And 5'4" doesn't mean lolly. Now let's say we wanted to do chibi. Chibi means so many different things. And it all comes down to, again, proportion and style. But chibi is less of an age implicator, and it's more of a stylistic implicator. And you can turn a non-chibi design into a chibi and back. If something by default stays in its main form as a chibi, while everything else isn't chibi, then there's more of a conversation to be had there of if it's a lolly or not. The line between lolly and petite is very thin. It's just a little bit of a head growth and body shrink difference away. Let's make these heads the exact same size. Literally all I did was make the head bigger, shift it up, and then shrink everything so that the heads matched. Very fine line. Same can be said for Tatsumaki. She doesn't have a very sexual proportions, but she has a similar stature like Rebecca. Tatsumaki is interesting because her proportions are genuinely closer to a lolly, in my opinion. Hold on. Tatsumaki, One Punch Man. I would say that she's actually closer to being lolly, but she's still not lolly. Again, she rides that very fine line. Ugh, this is all AI generated. No, I need like an official image. Age has nothing to do with it. Yeah, no, age doesn't have anything to do with whether or not a character design is lolly. It's more about, again, proportions. Because lolly characters can and will be whatever age the showrunner or the author wants them to be. Okay, let's make it the same head size. Actually, I would argue that... Okay, actually, yeah, like same head size. Same head size, so she's a little bit smaller. Again, she rides that very fine line between what I personally consider to be like a very small woman and a lolly. If we were to turn her into a lolly, very tiny difference.
I have a genuine question though. What if Rebecca's actual height was like 4 feet 10 inches? There are women in the world that are that height and below.
Well, yeah, no, like, it's not an issue about, like, canon numbers. It's all about proportional to other characters and like proportional to like limb size. Because numbers are arbitrary. You could say whatever bullshit you want. Like, I could say that she's 6 feet tall. Like, I could take this lolly Rebecca right here, and I could say, well, she's 6 feet tall. That still doesn't matter, because this is still, like, lolly proportions, right? Same with this version of Tatsumaki. Interestingly enough, I feel like this is actually closer to how she's drawn in the manga, whereas in the anime, she's a bit more womanly. Head a bit too big. Well, I mean, you know. Tatsu's eyes increase proportionally. Yeah, let's increase the eyes as well. I think the real question stems from, what is the difference between a lolly and a child? And that is where you get the most difficult questions. Let me go to Anya from Spy Family. Oh, that's just a lot of pornography. What the fuck? No, I want what the fuck? I literally just typed Anya Spy Family, and all I'm getting is okay. Guys, don't use Microsoft Bing. Don't use Microsoft Bing. Safe search on. I'm not gonna unsee that. Alright. So now we have a child. A literal child. Now, the proportions for a child and for a lolly often are basically identical. They can and are different in many instances, but this is where it all comes down to intention and comes down to both the author and the audience.
Rat. Check boss's search history.
Now, this is where people will start to get puritanical and things become problematic. Because functionally, these designs with these proportions are almost identical. However, how the characters are treated and portrayed, and everything's flipped upside down, is what divides them. I will say, though, her head is just that much bigger. So she still looks more childlike than
People
Rebecca.
Nowadays either stretch the definition of a word too far just to prove a point, or apply it loosely to insult or deafen anything they don't like.
These are all gradients of lolly. Yeah, no, it goes from petite woman. So Rebecca Edgerunners, in my opinion, is definitely not a lolly. She is a petite woman to me, but she is on that slider. And so from there you get Tatsumaki, which is depicted in various different ways canonically. And we go down, then we go to the edited Rebecca here, which is, I feel like, the fanon version of Rebecca. And then we get actual children. Never thought I'd see a streamer go over the mathematical theorem of lollies and distinction between them in short stacks.
Twitter says 5'5" is the height of consent.
That's wretched. So many people I know in real life would, like, not qualify to consent then. That's crazy. Yeah. I really don't know where to go from here. Reminds me of the furry rating scale. If you want an example of child and chibi, the students in Henmaro. Now, intention matters, and the source matters. A lot of people, I feel like, mistaken Rebecca and her proportions for lolly purely because in Cyberpunk Edgerunners, when she is beside other characters, she looks that much smaller because everybody else has very large naturalistic proportions, like Lucy and the guy, I don't remember his name, the Hispanic that's really into body modification. So when she's beside them, she is like the size of a naturally small woman, but it's very striking when they're all beside each other, so people will look at that and go, oh, well, that's a child. And that is actually a mistake a lot of people will just make in real life regardless.
How about Opie Lolly like a Lulu?
Opie Lolly. Again, that comes down to proportion. Can you give me the full character name for that one so that I can look up like non-pornographic images of this person so I can put them on screen? Remember, guys, Brazilians can double jump and Hispanics have hyperspeed. Kanna from Dragon Maid. Ah, yeah, Kanna. Now, the Dragon Maid girls. There's a few of them. Okay. This debate has gone on for a century. No, I don't want to save the image. I want to copy the image.
Okay, boss, while we are on an anime mathematician theorems, what's your take on an age-old question, are traps gay?
Are traps gay? Yes. They are not, maybe, they might not personally be gay in sexuality towards themselves, but they attract gay people. So the concept of the trap is gay. No, Kobayashi Dragon Maid. Let me see the, there was the other character from Dragon Maid. Again, context matters for things like this. I have not watched Dragon Maid. Let me look up her age, because I don't know what her intention is. I don't know if she's supposed to be a child or if she's supposed to be like a 300-year-old dragon. But regardless, the line between child and lolly is very, very thin here. Like, it's invisible. There is no line. It is designed to look basically the same. She is sexualized in the thigh exposure, the thick thigh exposure, but the top half is childish. Let's see. Does she have an age? Yo, this wiki is bullshit. Yeah, I can't see an age here. She's like 500 years old, but a child in Dragon Age. Okay, so then, okay. There's a justification, but then there's an intention. So there is purposeful obfuscation. So in that case, she is being presented intentionally to be a child, even though she has the 500-year excuse. There you go. Thank you, Beavis. Beavis just sent me an interesting example. Okay. So here is a younger character, but given the more young adult body type. Can I copy this image, please? So this is a character from High School DxD. They are very sexualized, but they are also kind of closer to the Rebecca body type. Maybe they look just slightly more mature. Definitely not lolly. 100% not lolly. I think a lot of people also see Rebecca as lolly because she's got a round chin. I'm gonna be so real, because she's got round features. Lollies typically are very round, very orbular. So I would say, at its purest form, lolly is inseparable from child. In its evolutionary form, lolly is a very specific small girl, like, body type that can be nebulous with age. And at its hardest to discern form, it's just small woman. And I think it's very important that the distinction between those three is very clear. And I feel like that's why a lot of people are, like, very confused, I think, these days. Because you can say lolly, and everybody will think of a different thing. And some people will think of one thing and display another.
The orbs make them mo'ua.
Now. So what is my stance on lolly, personally? We need more classifications to parse through this minefield. My stance is, if it looks like this, it is not attractive. To me, this reads as a child that I would like to protect. If it looks like this, it is also personally not attractive to me, but I also think it's not problematic in a way that some puritanicals might see it. Because this shows more of an intention. And this form, I just don't see this as lolly. This is just a very, like, a differently developed woman. So I think that this and Rebecca in her OG animated form is sexy. I think flat women are sexy. Flat women can be very sexy. Flat women with nice thighs can be very sexy. But that doesn't make them lollies. That just makes them flat women with nice thighs. Disagree with it being inseparable from a child. There's a very clear separation if the hip to shoulder ratio exceeds a certain amount. Again, that is a semantics argument, and you are very open and free to have it. I'm just talking personally, how I observe it. Like, so, okay, what would I classify as lolly here then? I would classify Anya as a child, but she would also be lumped in with lollies, even though she's got thin legs and Kana's got thick legs. Because I'm gonna be so real, people that are very into lollies will classify her as a lolly. This is, even though I think this is a child, people will still classify this purely based on proportion. Kana is a lolly. I think this edited version of Rebecca is a lolly, and I think the original is not. I think this version of Tatsumaki is a lolly, and this version is not. And you know what? I'm gonna say it. I consider Fangsie to be kind of like these edited versions here. I think Fangsie is bordering on lolly as well. As an example of just, like, in practice, you know? Kind of is like the Lucky Star girls. They're drawn as cartoon characters. I would say not. The Lucky Stars girls are confined within their own artistic universe, and all the adults and all of the children look very similar. The only thing different is height. Whereas Kana, all of the body proportions in Kobayashi Dragon Maid are very different. There is a very, very clear distinction between each and every single one of the body types and characters, and it's very clear that this is intentionally supposed to be super small. Lucky Star, everything is very similar. Now, do I have a moral stance on this? No, because I'm not talking about sexualizing these characters. I'm just talking about the classifications of them. Sexualization of lollies is an entirely different conversation that is not one that I am qualified to have. I'm just talking about the scientific breakdown of the body type itself. Lucky star equals the chibi dimension? Yeah, I would say that, honestly. Anyway, this has gone on for too long. You can't talk about the topic wholly without talking about sexualization. I mean, we brushed on it. We brushed on sexualization, but I'm cutting it off here because I'm not qualified to talk about it. Just straight up. So if I'm not qualified to talk on it past a certain point, I'm not going to talk out of my ass. Yeah, don't touch that radioactive wasteland. Always an interesting phrase to come in on in this joint. Damn, Lamau. It's like watching City or Nichijou. They're weird cartoon humans. I had to study this in Japanese uni. Nichijou, again, like a lot of these examples that are being brought up are, again, very stylistically dependent. And that's why a lot of these conversations are difficult to have, because how much of it is people are trying to turn this into a lolly body type, and how much of this is, well, the art style kind of has everybody looking like a visual nebulous blob.
What if boss got hit by a lolification beam?
If I got hit by a lollification beam, I mean, I would miss my boobs and my hips very much. I would miss them very much. If I got hit by a lolly beam, I would actually be devastated because I love my long legs. That is probably my favorite feature of who I am as a person, is my long legs. That is like half my personality. Imagine lolly Katya. You can't, because then my legs are gone and I'd cry. I love my Sailor Moon legs so much. Katya, I want a chest nerf monkey's paw curls. That would be really funny. That would be really funny. If I got hit by a lollification beam, then I would go on a time-limited adventure with Fangsie to get my body back, Full Metal Alchemist style. Yeah, I would cry too. Necro, I feel like me crying over it and you crying over it would be for different reasons. We need to get our body back. Sounds like a sitcom. Bro, if I got hit with a lolly beam, you know, immediately afterwards, I'd be like commissioning stilts. And I'd be putting them on the bottom of the asset. So I'd still be really tall, but like cut off. Like imagine if like my boots, where my boots were, that was where the bottom, like the top of my boots is where the bottom of my feet were. And boots down, it was just stilts. And I'm just walking around like that. That would be the funniest fucking visual gag. Turning your body, like do it. If I got hit with a lolly beam, I'm gonna make, like, obnoxious extenders. Honey, I Shrunk the VTuber. Katya in a trench coat! That's when I start stacking on top of other VTubers and we sneak into the cinema. Katya becomes a paradox from Steven Universe. Disgusting! Don't talk about Steven Universe in here. Actually, just for talking about Steven Universe, I'm putting you in timeout. Die. You don't deserve rights. So basically this becomes like Detective Conan trying to get your body back. Yeah, no, if for some reason Katya became a lolly, it would 100% end up being a Detective Conan, I've got to get my body back scenario. Because I can't live without towering over people. I feel like that's like the only good thing about me. That and my beautiful smile. Jesus Christ, can you imagine? Somebody with a lolly body type with this kind of fucking face, that would be the scariest thing. It's like the movie Gremlins. Where's Pennyworth? Oh, he's right here. Hey, Debu. Welcome on in. Pretty much Tanya the Evil. Tanya the Evil fucking sucks. I'm sorry, okay? Like, I'm happy with Katya's current body proportions and assets. Now, Tanya from Tanya the Evil, she's definitely actually, like, a pure, like, lolly. Like, through and through. But Tanya the Evil sucked. The anime was impossible to get past the first episode. I didn't watch more than one episode because it was so badly written, so badly paced. Like, I was angry by the end of the first episode because I felt like I wasted my life. Sega of Katya the Evil. Like, Tanya the Evil, it sold me on such a cool sounding premise. A man isekai'd into alternate magic World War II to be basically Hitler as a small anime girl. Like, that sounds ridiculous. That sounds so over the top. Very anime plot, right? And you could do so much with it, but episode 1, it just couldn't hold my attention because it was just exposition dump after exposition dump after exposition dump, and then treating the audience like they were stupid. And I hate that shit. I would prefer you show, don't tell. I would prefer a fun experience, you know? Actually, World War I. You're right. You're right. Opinion discarded. That's crazy. So you didn't watch it. It has top war crimes I had to endure first episodes too, though. 100% don't say everything at once. Yeah, no, like, here's my thing. A series could literally be 10 out of 10. It could be the best series in the world. But if your first episode is shit, then it doesn't matter. Because that is what you're presenting to get people in the door. If you can't get people in the door, nobody's gonna stay for the peak unless they're being sat down and forced to watch it. And at that point, why would you want that person there in the first place? You want people there that are invested in your story, invested in your shit, you know? People need to be more strategic with their episode 1s. If an episode 1 is good and the rest of the series is mid, somebody will watch the whole series, right? But if your episode 1 is absolute dog water and everything else is perfect, it doesn't matter because nobody's gonna watch it. What's worse, a bad beginning or ending? Bad beginning. Because you'll never get to the ending with a bad beginning. A bad ending you can, like, retcon, or a bad ending you can use fan fiction to cope over. But a bad beginning? You're just not there. First impressions. Yeah, first impressions matter. Almost anyone who isn't an absolute self-absorbed intellectual has a boredom limit. Cage may beat me, call me any name you want, just don't bore me. Exactly. You see, this is why I really like Redo of Healer, actually. Like, I love redo a feeler.
VTW, don't sell yourself short, boss. You have two very good things about you in the front.
Oh, shut the fuck up, you. My first comment here got me shot. Vinny! You're alive? But yeah, no, like, I actually really like redo a feeler. Like, it's obnoxious, like, porno torture slop. I will be the first to admit that. But my god, is it a fun thing to watch. My god, does it keep your attention. Yeah. Another fucking double tap, and I do it again! L take and taste. Hey, it is what it is. That's why you need someone like me if you're back from retirement. Quote Wizard Katya. I have a way of putting things into words that often works. You're a girl, so I assumed you would. No offense. I'll have you know that I am an evolved being. I'm beyond your mere pittance of woman, girl, man. I am the human. You should watch the Artemis Fowl movie. It was peak. Snatcher? For that offense alone, you're in timeout. And I'm killing you. Everybody in chat, say goodbye, Snatcher. I am the human. No, you're the elf. Barreg! Treat me with kindness, okay? Just because I am... Just because I have a deformation in my ears doesn't make me a elf, okay? Look, it's a disability I have to live with, but surgery can do wonders. There's nothing left to bury! That's the point. Anyway. How many chambers does that revolver have?
I bought you your second pistol for firing, ma'am.
I think there's a misunderstanding as to how Pennyworth works. You see, he doesn't have bullets. I don't have to load his chamber. If I zoom in here, you can see that there's a little red stone. That's actually a magic stone. It's an arcana stone. So, he is sentient. He loads his own charges. And I basically have limitless bullets. I have unending bullets. But whatever kind of bullet comes out of the gun is entirely up to how he's feeling at the moment. So if I want to kill someone, I just have to hope that he also wants to kill that person. Otherwise, it's a very embarrassing display of I'm shooting somebody with a water gun. Typically, we agree on targets, though. Typically. Snatcher's the lifeblood of this community. You treat him like this. Screw you. You're next, Artemis. You want to stand up for your buddy? You want to stand up for somebody that's going to slander cinema? Gents, am I gay for finding the concept of an old man isekaiing as a cute girl hot? I would argue no, actually. I would argue no. Because it's all about the body. As Andrew Tate once said, is it gay to go for an absolute 10, but that the 10 has a dick, or an absolute 0, but it has a vag? It is not gay to go for the 10 with a dick, which would be, in his opinion, Megan Fox. If you go for Megan Fox with a dick, that does not make you gay. Because Hulk Hogan with a vag does make you gay. I mean, it's all about the secondary sex characteristics that you're attracted to, because you are attracted to what is explicitly feminine. So are traps gay? That is where it's interesting. Earlier I said yes. But if we go by Andrew Tate logic, no, traps aren't gay. That's something that Blockhead said. Oh yes, it's a very famous Andrew Tate quote. So if we want to go by his logic, traps aren't gay. Does that apply to food as well? Why are we going with Tate logic? What, are you saying that you don't ascribe to the manosphere? Are you saying that you're not an enlightened being? you don't attend Tate University? I love the anime From Bureaucrat to Villainous, Dad's been reincarnated. I think that'd be kind of funny. Can't I just orient by biological rules? I mean, yeah, you can. But good luck when you're given a situation where you have to make a decision. What color is your Bugatti, huh? Yeah, what color is your Bugatti? Ah? Hustler's University mindset. Andrew Tate very famously hated trans women out loud, aloud. Oh, absolutely, Ryuko. Absolutely. No, I only bring up Andrew Tate as kind of like a meme. I'm not, like, actually super into, like, that shit. It's just really funny. I'm alive again. Was 40 seconds behind. Welcome back, Snatcher. There's no free speech here. Don't you dare have the wrong opinion again. Andrew Tate doth protest too much, methinks. Oh yeah, no, I absolutely think he's covering for, something. I think he's compensating, 100%. Oh, I definitely mean he was into trans women. No, I definitely, there's only paid speech. If you give me 50 gold Chiron Imperial Standard pieces, you are allowed to slander Artemis Fowl. But you are only allowed to do it in increments of $50. Anything under $50, you get muted. That is the price of Artemis Fowl slander on this channel. Artemis Fowl movie was mid? Excellent, Eric Smith. Excellent. The movie was actually worse than mid. It was bad. It was the worst thing ever. Shouldn't it be free? I'm sorry, I misspoke. If you want to talk about how much you love the Artemis Fowl movie, or talk about how much you hate the books, that is a $50 fee. If you want to talk about how much you hate the movie, or how much you love the books, that's free. All roads lead to Artemis Fowl. Of course, Callow. Of course. That's... What did anyone expect from me? What do you think, Mambo? What are you doing, little guy? Oh, he wants to chill with you. Okay. Only an hour 20 into the stream and boss only gets the Artemis Fowl is getting better at handling herself. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I love the books that make great kindling. Ah! My heart. My heart. Freedom of speech is for people who are free, Sabletoons. Most of you owe 6 digits or whatever the coins are worth. I'm assuming that's a lot of sandwiches or fuel. Yes. Indubitably. When I was in active duty, this guy would leave for Thailand all the time, come back and talk shit about T-Woman. We're like, yeah, okay, we get you're shouting real loud. He hated me. Lamau. It's always the people that are the loudest that have the most skeletons in their closet. The people that genuinely aren't gay or aren't into those kind of things are typically, like, they just don't talk about it. Because they don't care. Second streamer I've seen that openly despised the movie and ranted about it. Oh, Jen? I have such a long, sordid history with the Artemis Fowl series. You have no idea. You have no idea. Who was the first streamer? You like malls, Katya? I don't typically go to malls. I know Cecilia Fuck! Now I can't say her name. I'm a fake fan. Cecilia Hololive was talking about Artemis Fowl a while back. I remember being very excited about that. Immergreen. Ah. I see, Jen. The redacted message. Interesting. Lamau. I acknowledge, but don't say. Cecilia mentioned I'm gonna call her Cecilia Hololive from now on. It's her, John Hololive. For real. Cecilia is quite a sweetheart. I feel like I could talk to her for ages if I was given the opportunity. I feel like we have a lot in common. I feel that about a lot of streamers, if I'm gonna be fair. But that's the way of the land. So your Katya Variance project in the flesh, baby! John Jacob Jingleheimer streamer. Yeah. Artemis Fowl rant stream next time. Could be enlightening. Do I have it in me? Do I have it in me to do that again? You have the gift of gab. Parasocial much? Yeah, I suppose I'm a little parasocial for some streamers, but I don't let that affect my business-minded ventures. If I feel like I have a parasocial tendency towards a streamer, I just don't engage with them. 100%. Like, in the business world, if I feel like parasocial, then sometimes I block, actually, the streamer. John Variance Project. Yippee! Hey, Voodoo Moose! Thank you for becoming a tune. Hello! Ah! Would you talk about the main series only? Curious about your thoughts on the Fowl Twins trilogy. I would like to talk about the Fowl Twins trilogy. I haven't had an opportunity to talk about my thoughts on it yet. I have had to spot watching a VTuber before because I was getting parasocial. Fair enough. Did you stream before, or are you new to streaming? Yes or no? I mean, I've always been streaming from the casino, but, you know, the lovely people at Variance Project have now allowed me to beam my streams outside of Chiron and into your reality. So, I would say that I've got about 6 years experience under my belt at this point. I would cry if Katya ever blocked me, Lamau. Keck. Experience of what? You can experience these nuts in your mouth, Furnace. I think... I don't know. Would you guys like an Artemis Fowl stream? I could easily put one out. Like, I don't even need to prep. I've got all my novels right beside me. I could literally just open a page right now and start going on a rant. It would be a badge of honor if Katya blocked me. I mean, I could ban you right now, Necro. You want that? I could do that. I'm not gonna do that. I could do it. Chat, should I ban Necro? I'm gonna make a poll. Just for fun. Should we kill Necro? Yes or no? Oh, now it's we. You're next, Callow. Behave. You won't do it, you coward. Ah!
You won't do it, you coward.
I can absolutely time you out, Necro. Don't test me. Put enough skill points into parasocialism.
If I put enough skill points into parasocialism, I'll eventually unlock the real relationship tree. Trust.
Ooh, you guys are fighting. Damn, Necro, how does it make you feel knowing that 64% of people want you dead? Those are rookie numbers. You gotta pump them up. I'm at least in the high 80s to low 90 percentile of people that want me dead, you know? They love me. They love me. Oh, do they love you, Necro? Well, then they can host a beautiful funeral memorial for you. Yes. Yeah. Hey, a boss. Hey, a possum. We're killing we're killing Necro. What I miss was just getting gussied up. Yeah, okay, Mr. Fancy Pants. Vinyl is the strongest tune. I was gonna say something else. He is the strongest enforcer. Public lynching. Yeah! Yeah! I love public lynchings. I love public executions.
Hashtag Necro Lives Matter.
No, his life doesn't matter. You're gonna see this in a second. 105 votes. Come on, guys. We can pump those numbers. I want everybody to vote on killing Chatter Necro. Why are we killing Necro again? Because I'm bored! Democracy? He's a dirty clipper. Clipper with a hard C. Blood for the Yelven Queen. Well, I'm a human, actually. What happens after Necro dies? Well, it's in the name. He's Necro. So, he'd probably, like, self-resurrect after a few minutes. I just joined. Is this the Necro execution broadcast? In the flesh!
We should create a union and have tune rights at this point.
Total Necro death.
Hashtag total Necro death.
Necro about to get frisky about his interest in Katya and must face correction. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's why we're killing Necro, because he got a little too interested he got too invested in the idea of a lolly Katya, so we gotta kill him. Alright, guys. I'm closing the poll. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Necro. Goodbye. Ah! Oh, there we go. And alright, Necro's gonna be dead for about 5 minutes, okay? That is probably the longest timeout I've ever given anyone. And you know, He didn't even earn it. He didn't even deserve it. He just got killed because I was bored. That's like the worst punishment I've ever given on my channel, and he genuinely didn't do anything. Yeah, no, I needed to give him 5 bullets, 1 bullet per minute. What would be better, Lolly Katya or MILF Katya? Genuinely, I feel like I could body MILF Katya very well. I don't think I have it in me to do a good quote-unquote lolly voice, but I feel like with practice, I could do a very good, like, owner of the casino MILF seductress. That said, do I even really want to do that? I'm kind of happy the way I am. Can't believe Necro killed himself with 5 bullets to the back of his head. Yeah, that's just the way the pussy crumbles. I mean, the cookie crumbles. That's the way the... You know what? I don't even know where that came from. We're sticking with it. We're sticking with it. Ugh. We all know Katya is much better as a daddy than a mommy anyway. How about you all just stop calling me names, okay? Bullying isn't nice. Bullying isn't nice, okay? Why don't you just stop name calling? I think you guys need to stop calling me anything except for Dawn. Donna. The boss.
Mommy Dommy is so overdone and overrated.
I agree. I agree. I don't actually know what I would classify as personally. I don't know. What do you guys think I am? If you were to just look at me, if you just looked at me as I am, what kind of classification do I earn? Sister. Woman. Ugh! Gross. Your Tumblr sexy min gender bent. No! Definitely a sister or a cousin. Interesting. Oh, so you guys are like into incest. You sick freaks. Cool aunt. I actually like that. I like the idea of being the cool aunt. I mean, I've got the smoke pipe and everything. Yeah, you might start a duel with the Onceler. Biggering is such a peak song. I'm sorry. Party member who will betray you if you're not maxed out on relationship. Ooh, the betrayer. I like that. I feel like I like that. Every time you say something sus, Freud flips in his grave. Yo, bro doing sick kick flips post-mortem? Big nemesis vibes. Huh. Tsundere side. I'm not soon. I don't think I'm soon. No, I'm not soon. I'm not soon. I feel like you'd be the toxic yandere. Excuse you, I think I would be a very sweet yandere. By nature, isn't all yandere kind of just toxic, you know? But I think I'd be a very sweet, loving yandere. You're pretty soon, according to Leia and Ava. No, I'm not! You're a tomboy drinking buddy who shares similar opinions and also likes to rant about shit. Yeah. I like that. I like that. I feel like I'm in like this gray zone between tomboy and wine ant. Soon coded. You shut up, Hera. I just killed Necro. I'm not afraid to kill you too. I don't care if it's your fucking birthday. Actually, you know what? Birthday present for Paradigm Shift. Happy birthday? We're losing our brightest and mightiest today. Tsundere, tsundere, tsundere. I'm not tsundere! Boss, we can't fit any more in the corpse wagon. Well, that sounds like a you problem. We have plenty of room in the kitchen. Just take a few of them there. Tsundere. Ah! You're alive again already? Has it really already been 5 minutes? That's crazy. Say coffee and quarter in a Boston accent. Coffee, and quarter, coffee, cup of coffee, coffee. I don't know, is that how Bostonites talk?
Can you turn on your yandere mod?
Not yet.
_ Sable yell.
You mean like this? Quarter. Why are you running? 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 I'm sorry. Why are you running? Stupid. Why? Hmm? Nothing to run from. Why are you gay? Stop crying, you little pathetic bitch baby. You didn't need those legs. I needed them more than you. Why would I need them? Because you'd run away with that, you know, if you had them.
As someone who now works for a professional strike-breaking organization, I have exec to get capped now. Also as a man from eastern Massachusetts, that was one of the Boston accents of all time.
Hey Darman, thank you for the 20. Professional strike-breaking organization. Interesting. So, like, if there's protesters striking outside, do you, like, beat the shit out of them? Like, what's your job? Do you get, like, a fancy beating stick? Why is she so evil? And you have 2 kidneys and 2 lungs. Thought you were just taking them to extend your legs. Yeah. Why did I take your legs? Well, Necro hit me with the lolly beam, and I had to undo the damage. Hey boss, is there a community Discord? Yes, actually. Right there. The Streamlabs. Right there. It says Discord. Join my faction. That's the community Discord. Unless you guys can't see the bot. I'm not stupid enough to draw lolly Katya. I'm not swimming with the fishes. Smart. Invite's invalid? Why did nobody tell me? Hold on. Expire after never. Thank you, Beavis. Can't wait to get groomed by a VTuber again. Again? Seems like there's a story there. The bot was broken since you returned. Also, still no custom membership badges. I'm gonna be so real with you. I forgot about them again. They do exist. They literally have existed since debut. I just haven't put them in. I'm sorry. I'll have them for next stream. I'll do that as a priority today. That'll be a priority today. I can fix them. Katya, the memory of a goldfish. Yes, but I have the exuberance of a wild beast. She's so full of hatred. Boss hates us. Yeah, I hate you. Die. Next stream in 3 months. What do you mean 3 months? I'll have you know that I stream very often. Is this your song in the background playing? Yes, it's a custom BGM that was... Yes. It's my... Yeah, it's just called Katya Full BGM, Lumo. Actually, the starting soon screen is also another custom Variance original song. Like, if I go to... the BRB, actually. Like, the custom BRB music as well. Bum, bum. Fun little animation. Bum, 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 ba-da, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. Anyway. But all of the assets that I use here are original. And you can find most of them on the VP main channel, like any of my custom BGMs or whatnot. And there's also actually some ambient casino chatter and music as well, if you want. That shit's always very fun. You should give it a name. I think the person we commissioned gave it a name, but I don't remember what it is. I like the BRB one. It's given Danganronpa. It's the same as my starting soon one. Don't remember anyone asking you this, but what's with the thorn vines? Actually, you're the first person to ask after all these months. Thank you for doing that. They're attached to my flower. Because my rose doesn't grow on a stem, it grows on vines. Well, it's not a rose per se, but it's a fun little nickname for it. It's actually a very special custom flower. They don't typically grow in Chiron. They're actually imported from the other continent. So I have like one of the very few that currently exist. Did you know that if you grind up its petals, it's a very powerful hallucinogen? I keep that thing on me. It helps a lot with, like, you know, business. Because you can grind it up, you put petals in their tea to steep, you can have them sniff my flower. I myself am actually quite immune to its effects, but it helps a lot with negotiation. Well, ain't that convenient, you freakazoid. Excuse you. I am the freakazoid. No, we used to actually have like a whole garden of these flowers back at the manor before it burnt down. I managed to get one of the last ones out of the ashes. It's very important that I keep this, but the Sables actually, you know, had a lot of these before everything went down. Joker-ass gadget. I love my Joker-ass flower. Shut up, you. Did someone say Balatro? Yeah, don't get high on your own supply. Now, here's the thing. We make jokes about selling crack to Dakota, but I do think that, you know, a drug trade there would actually be a very viable business opportunity. I think if we figured out a way, we figured out a new sustainable source for drug that was addictive enough, but easy enough to produce and to store and to transfer.
It looks like
We could
a freaky
really-
parasite that mind breaks.
Oh, I love Mindbreak. That's a great tag. No, but if we could figure out, like, a good, hearty drug that's readily available and high enough in quantity and easy enough to produce, you know, we could really turn the tide of the invasion, you know? We could really make some real headway. You know, those fucking savages. Codians. Disgusting. Wait, we were joking about selling crack to Dakota before? Well, here's the thing. In your world, there is crack. I've seen, you know, the effects of it on people, and it's fascinating, but I haven't found a way to replicate crack over here yet. We just don't have that kind of technology. We don't have the exact same kind of chemical makeup here. So, I think the closest thing we have to, like, a bad drug would be an equivalent to your world's opium and opioids. I need to figure out a way to artificially create an opioid, but we don't have poppies here like you do over there. So I need to find a poppy equivalent, and then I think we could start, you know, our own version of sell crack to Dakota. We could do something with the opioid. Why not just make crack? I can't make crack. Alternate idea, still dinosaur blood cell at the big pharma. Literally the plot of Jurassic World Rebirth in Lamau. Yeah. No, but my flower here, like, again, it's in such limited supply. This is like one of the few left. I'm trying to grow more, but this in of itself is not a sustainable drug. This is more for personal use and for, you know, for work. I don't think that would be a wise thing to do. For crack, you need cocaine. Yes, and I do not have cocaine. Make crack on Earth instead of a mass interdimensional transit system. Nah, it's difficult enough to get, like, simple one-time shipments through. Like, to get to conventions, that was hard. Don't get high on your own supply. Hell yeah, don't get high on your own supply. Now I'm curious if dinosaurs are a thing. Of course dinosaurs were a thing. What are you, daft? It's just ours were, like, a little cooler than yours. Because they were ours. Do you put any substances to smoke on that stick besides tobacco or your world's equivalent of it? This is basically tobacco, yeah. What do you mean, our world? Are you aware of us in completely different plane of existence with one another? Yes, actually. Yes. This is actually something I've been wanting to talk about for a while. You see, the gates between different places here in Faerez have allowed us to take peeks into your world. So it's kind of like why I can have my internet connection here and, you know, beam things through it all through portals. It's not reliable, but all since, like, you know, since humanity has, you know, developed the technology, ever since portals were a thing, things have fallen through. So things like atlases have allowed us a look at your planet, your world, your Earth. And it's not parallel. I think you guys just exist somewhere else. Like, there's been all sorts of theories, you know, that we've been cooking up over here with our philosophers, with our scientists, but I don't think anybody is entirely sure what you guys are. You guys are very foreign and fascinating to us, but you're also very specific. You guys are what happened when you're what happens with human supremacy. And I admire you guys. Like, I'm a bit of an Earth fangirl. I'm gonna be entirely honest. Like, I love humans. I love them so much. And the fact that they're in such limited supply over here is quite saddening. Because you guys, you do so much. You commit so many atrocities. It's fascinating. Reading through your history is like reading like a fantasy novel almost. You call my guy Ro Jogan, Lamau. Joe Rogan is hilarious. Now I'm curious, what country is the most interesting? Well, it really depends on the time period. I actually really think Bolshevik Russia was fascinating. Modern Americana is also very interesting. And Victorian Europe is very interesting. Your wars fascinate me. If you're a human fangirl, why are your SABLETOONS rats? Why not keep them as humans? Well, not all my rats were humans. They were deaders, but they're not all humans. Like, some of them were fucking nasty dog people, or cat people, or dragonoids, or some were humans. Have a Yilvish here and there. No, Earth is what happens when human exclusivity exists. Don't conflate it with supremacy. You put a human against a polar bear and the human doesn't have a Kodiak defense rifle. There's a 0% chance. You know what? That is fair.
I love knife ears too, especially below the table.
Anyway. But yeah, no. A lot of my contemporaries here in Chiron are kind of like, they make fun of me. They say it's a waste of time to be really into like Earth shit. They kind of call me like a nerd or a weird like dweeb kind of thing. At least they did, you know, back when I was back when I was at the house, you know. But the manor no longer exists, so nobody can make fun of me because I have a gun and I have the power in the casino. So what I say goes. But the thing is that Pharos doesn't have as developed as an atlas as Earth does. Earth has so many different versions of atlases, and they've kind of dropped through the portal over the years. And I've gotten to see Earth in so many different forms, ways, shapes. We have gone through kind of pockets of our own industrial revolutions in different areas, and we're in different stages of development, but we are not connected. We are not as connected. I want to be the first person in Pharos to have a complete atlas. I want to explore all of this Earth, well, equivalent anyway, this whole planet, because do you know how much of an advantage it would be for trade, for money? Yeah. But yeah, portal travel is not difficult, but it is also not reliable. So the very few times that we're actually able to make it over to your side, we gotta be very strategic, otherwise it's impossible for us to get back. We have not had a successful case of you guys coming over here yet. So us being able to stream to places like YouTube and Twitch is the closest currently that we have to consistent communication now. And this is a very modern phenomena here. You can portal things over there from Earth. That you were already accustomed to our tech. I mean, some tech more than others. Again, I am in a position of privilege as, you know, somebody in nobility, so I have more exposure to things. Like, some of your historic artwork actually falls through the portal once in a while, and then it goes missing over there, you know?
Imagine touching those long, slender ears from behind with your lips.
The fuck is wrong with you? What's the last time? What happened the last time an Earthling tried to cross the portal? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't think you guys have the equivalent of portal tech here. I mean, there, you know, like, we have gates. The gates are portals. The gates are very loosely connected to each other and to your place. When we go to Earth, or we send things to Earth, we don't control where we land or where those items land. Because there is no, like, actual gate on that side. We kind of just pop into existence over there. Right? Like, it is really one way unless you have a tether. So we can go there and go back if we have somebody, you know, on this side holding kind of like the equivalent of a leash. That's why Fangsie couldn't make it to Vexpo, because Fangsie was holding the leash. Does that mean you have art on pre-syphilic fashion in Europe? I don't know if anyone brought it up earlier in the stream, but it's really fascinating. Actually, back here, I have an original copy. Is that an oxymoron? An original and a copy. I have a painting back here called Ivan the Terrible and His Son Ivan. It's one of my favorite Russian paintings out there. This fell through the portal when I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. This is one of the things I actually rescued from the Sableton fire. It's one of my favorite paintings. I studied a lot of artwork, both, you know, from Faras and from portals. We had like textbooks we studied on collected Earth artifacts. How many people who used the portal ended up in the ocean? Too many to count. Well, to be fair, there's not a ton of people who use the portals. Here's the thing. Typically, when you use the portals, you just go to another place in Faras. Genuinely, that's it. You have to do some very difficult tinkering to be able to use it for other things, because it's not designed to properly go other places. But due to its, like, nebulous kind of nature, we make it work. Sup, Bawas? I heard an Austrian painter escaped your world. Is that true? I cannot confirm nor deny because I don't know any Austrian painters. And does this mean there was art of femboys that fall through? I mean, yeah, it's how we get a lot of, like, anime discs. It's why we have anime fans over here. Literally, like, we have... A lot of your artifacts get auctioned off to the highest bidder. So all the nobility are like weebs these days because we get a lot of that stuff. Anyway, I'm thinking I'm about ready to wrap up. What do you guys think? How much yaoi is shown up? Have you seen Memoria's library? Literally. I don't know because I don't consume degenerate bullshit. But Memoria, she's the CEO of consuming degenerate bullshit. So, yeah, you can look at her big collection. Alright. Oh, it looks like Kane Yanagi is doing a Gunpla hand cam. So let's go shoot over there. Alright. Let's see. Rats, we're the rats. Alright, there's the raid message, everyone. Keep an eye on Twitter for updated schedules and times. And I think this is the last stream of the week. Yeah, so tomorrow, theoretically, if I do it on time, there will be an updated schedule. I look forward to seeing you. And hopefully... we don't have to cancel another stream this week or move it to another spot and we can have our 4 proper. Have a nice weekend. You guys have a nice weekend too. If somebody hits me with a lolly gun, I'm going to kill them, by the way. I like my legs. If you're going to lolly me, give me my fucking legs. What would a lolly with really long legs look like, actually? That's actually kind of a scary idea. It's like a flamingo. Flamingos are kind of scary.